Hello and welcome to my 2021 desk setup tour. With the current environment, working from home and the online school, it's more important than ever to have a nice and efficient workspace where you can comfortably spend hours every day while staying productive and minimizing your physical and mental fatigue. This is why I spent the better part of the last week designing and bringing my ideal setup to life. For my setup, I did not get anything over the top, just using stuff that I already had and other items I found around the house. I organized my desk space into something that is inviting and inspiring. So let's begin. Starting off with the desk, it's an 8 feet by 3 feet wooden office desk that I had lying around in one of our offices. It's a basic office table, but the tabletop has this nice reflective designer surface which gives it a bit of a character. Having a nice and large tabletop is essential to keep all of my gears and gadgets that I use on a daily within my arm's reach while still maintaining this decluttered and spacious feel around the workspace. My setup switches from being connected to a Mac laptop that I use for the productivity side of my workflow. I use it for office, schoolwork, and general web browsing. And on the other side, I have this custom-built Windows PC that I use only for gaming. Speaking of the laptop, what I have over here is the M1 MacBook Pro with 8GB of RAM. I was previously using the 2019 quad-core Intel MacBook Pro, but frankly that laptop had underwhelming performance and thermals. The laptop would slow down and get pretty hot during my normal workloads, and the fan would ramp up all the time. Also, it was a measly 128GB version, so it was difficult to continue using it as my main computer. So when the M1 MacBooks were announced, I sold off my old MacBook and snagged a shiny new M1 MacBook Pro as soon as I could. Despite having only 8GB of Apple's uniform memory, the silicon has been working amazingly so far, and I've been really impressed with the performance, thermals, and the battery life of this new MacBook. The multitasking performance is great, and the amazing battery life means it's perfect for on-the-go computing. I also got a storage bump up to 256GB this time around, which is enough for on-computer apps and documents, as I use a Samsung T7 for editing videos and storing heavier files. Over to the side, I have this PC which is hosted inside an Antec RGB case, which has a tempered front and side panels. It's equipped with a Ryzen 5 1600 processor, 16GB of RAM, a 256GB SSD, and a 1TB mechanical hard drive. I recently upgraded to an RTX 3060 Ti from my GTX 970, which had served me exceptionally well over the last 6 years. With the 3060 Ti installed, I'm able to run almost all modern games at 1440p ultra settings with adequately high frame rates. The centerpiece is this Acer 32-inch 1440p monitor. After getting used to the Retina display on my 2019 MacBook Pro, I could simply never go back to a 1080p display. I wanted something with a higher resolution, which would make reading text easier. I didn't go with a 4K monitor because I also like to game, and playing games at 4K is honestly brutal for your graphics card. This was the cheapest 2K monitor available in India, so I went ahead and bought it. The monitor is okay, the color accuracy is nothing amazing, but since it's an IPS panel, the viewing angles are acceptable, which allows me to use this for entertainment and watching movies with my brother. The larger 32-inch size means I can open up several windows at the same time, increasing multitasking abilities and my productivity in general. Coming over to the audio, for gaming, I've been using the HyperX Cloud-Core gaming headset, but for the most part, I use the Powerbeats Pro. Since I'm on an Apple ecosystem, these earphones connect and switch over to all my devices seamlessly. The audio quality is pretty decent, especially for hip-hop and similarly bass-heavy genres of music. The battery life is exceptional with over 9 hours of playback, and with the convenience of being truly wireless earbuds, I've been using this pretty extensively over the last year, while working out, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube, and most importantly, while attending my Zoom calls and lectures. The mouse on my desk is the Razer Basilisk Hyperspeed X. In my quest to declutter my workspace, I decided that the wires had to go. In the recent years, wireless gaming mouse technology has advanced to a stage where the input lag on a good quality wireless mouse is indiscernible from the wired one. So while looking for a cheap wireless gaming mouse, I stumbled upon the Razer Basilisk X. The mouse features both a fast 2.4 GHz connection for gaming and also switches over seamlessly to Bluetooth, which I can use for my MacBook for regular use. This seamless switching between the PC and the Mac is very convenient for me. So far, I've had zero problems with the battery life, and connection is stable for the most part. I also kinda like the non-RGB stealthy look of the mouse. This shape is definitely inspired by the fan favorite G502, which makes it a very ergonomic mouse to use as well. This keyboard over here is the Logitech K380 wireless Bluetooth keyboard. I initially bought this keyboard to use for on-the-go typing on my iPad, but since this keyboard is so slim and portable, I can use it on my desk while saving up a lot of space. Typing experience is decent. The circular keys, I'd say, do take some time getting used to, but they work fine for general web browsing and for short bursts of typing text. The smaller form factor means I can have more space on my desk for when I'm in class, and I can easily move it around to make space for my iPad when I'm taking handwritten notes. For longer typing sessions and gaming, I've been using the Razer Black Widow Ultimate 2016. I've always really wanted a mechanical keyboard and I ended up buying the cheapest one I could find. This was back in 2017 and this keyboard has served me well over the years. The build quality is amazing, it's sturdy and has survived some accidental falls, and it still performs amazing. It has a built-in pass-through audio jack and USB, which further helps me declutter and makes using headphones easy when I'm using it for gaming. It comes pre-installed with Razer green switches which are practically similar to Cherry MX Blues. The typing feedback is amazing, but honestly I'm growing a little tired of the clickety sounds of the blue switches, so I'm looking to get something with a smaller footprint and linear switches. Maybe in the future. This mic over here, I got it for recording voiceovers and recording videos for my business, and I ended up getting this mic. Again, this was one of the cheapest condenser mics available. It also came with a monitor arm, which was pretty decent for the price. The mic has been very simple to use as it plugs in through USB. The audio quality is amazing for the price, which is what I'm recording this voiceover on right now. Given these times of online classes and collaboration, I'm happy to always have good audio while on Zoom calls, and the mic has been working out pretty great so far. On the desk, for speakers, I also have this dock from Bose. This is an old speaker which I've had lying around my house for I don't know how long. Being a single speaker, there's no stereo sound, but since I use headphones most of the time, this serves the purpose for basic content consumption and playing some lo-fi tunes to set the mood for while I'm studying or working or whatever. It still has that nice and clear Bose sound signature, and being small, it fits the desk perfectly, and I can also use it as a place to charge my iPhone from time to time. I have found that using a desk mat can really go a long way in tidying up your workspace and making everything look neat and tidy. I found this desk mat off of Amazon. This is from Scarters, and I like the size of the desk mat. It's big enough to fit my keyboard, mouse and the iPad for while I'm taking handwritten notes. The cool thing about the mousepad is that it flips over for a second side, which is yellow in color, which is pretty cool. Using this mat keeps my wrist comfortable during extended sessions as well. I also added some plants to the setup as well. I think it helps bring everything alive, and studies have shown that having plants and greenery at your desk increases creativity. One cool thing about this one big palm that I have over to the side is that the pot is on wheels, so I can easily drag it out to the balcony for its recommended bi-weekly sun bath. The mic came with this little desk stand, which I now use as a nice holder for my Apple Pencil. I think it looks cool and geometric while also taking up little space on the desk. This also prevents the Apple Pencil from potentially accidentally rolling off the desk, getting lost, and me disappointing my parents once again. I also have some incense sticks which I oil up with some lavender scented oils. Scientific studies have shown that lavender helps you keep calm and relaxed, which is pretty cool. I've tried to keep the visible cables to a minimum to maintain this sort of clean and aesthetic look. I hid the wires away by taping them off to the desk legs and covered up some of them with using plants and lamps. I also installed a cool little power strip to the edge of the desk, which is neatly tucked away, which gives me access to 6 power outlets for my various chargers and miscellaneous devices which I might need to plug in from time to time. So this was my desk setup tour. I hope this gave you some inspiration or ideas to flesh out your own workspace as well. I wanted to show that building a nice working environment can be achieved by some smart planning, organization, and good cable management. Creating this sort of nice and inviting workspace should help you work longer hours and keep those creative juices flowing. Bye bye.